Thanks for joining me right here on my channel. The solution is you. I appreciate each of you for taking time to visit with me right on the channel. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. How about I go ahead and get right into today's subject? Now, the topic of today, the dangers of loneliness. But first of all, I know that I have quite a number of new subscribers. Just so that you can become familiar with my channel, The Solution is You is a platform that I created that's basically here to inspire and help as many people as possible through solutions involving obstacles that we deal with daily. We all have different challenges and things that we are trying to overcome. And I find that it is always refreshing to know that you have a group of individuals from different walks of life that share the same circumstances, that are going through some of the same challenges, or could be experiencing some of the same successes. And my platform is here to encourage you to be yourself, to strive to be great, also to acknowledge any faults that you have while looking to correct any mistakes that you make. So whether you're a subscriber or just stopping by to listen in and maybe you gotta drop back off, I do appreciate each of you for your time. So today I'm going over the dangers of loneliness. So loneliness is a universal human emotion that is unique to each of us. And it includes feelings of isolation and abandonment. And this is unique to each of us. So the feeling of loneliness for a high school graduate will likely be different than that of a retiree. Now, loneliness is a big deal these days. Each of us has felt some sort of loneliness at some point, and it affects a lot of us in different ways. One of the hottest topics on the internet, whether it be blogs or podcasts or a TV show, all surrounds loneliness under the topic of relationships. This is something that we experience every day when we log onto the internet. There's always a show or a podcast that's talking about someone who is looking for love, someone who could not manage their relationship, someone who is lacking affection, which leads to loneliness. These are the things that we experience every day. You may have a friend right now that's suffering from loneliness. You may also have a relative that is deep in depression due to long bouts of loneliness. But what I also have noticed in a lot of these discussions that are online is that there is a lack of focus on psychology, which plays a huge role in loneliness. Psychology is the scientific study of the human mind and behaviors. Also, there's a lack of focus on sociology, which is the study of society with a focus of relationships between individuals and groups. So with social media, we have a lot of young individuals who are highly impressionable, and a lot of the information that they obtain is basically from each other. So the information that they obtain could be from one of their peers who has some sort of celebrity. So they have a huge following, and everyone looks up to this particular celebrity to see what information they're going to provide or to see who they're dating, which it could be multiple individuals over a span of a year or two. And this is the person that they get the majority of their information from and try to emulate and go out and exercise their beliefs based on what they see. And in a day where information moves fast, people's attention spans are short, particularly the younger generations, which is not necessarily their fault because we are the ones to pass the torch, and it's up to us to provide the guidance and the wisdom and the know-how and provide the template that is needed for them to function properly, to move forward in a way that is progressive, that gets results, and has them moving forward in a smooth, streamlined way that is contagious and replicated across the board. Which brings me to standards. Today, a lot of our youth are affected in so many ways to which they struggle with critical thinking, with going into the workforce early, maintaining a great job. So many of us are operating with a lack of confidence and a lack of self esteem because there are too many operating under individualism. That means looking out for yourself and not considering the needs of others. So when we do this, this isolates individuals, which causes loneliness. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing is too many of our younger people in situations where they can't fend for themselves. They're out on the street at an early age, not being able to provide for themselves, not knowing what their next move will be, operating out of desperation and down to do whatever it takes just to survive the day. So when we look at standards, standards are very crucial. They're very needed because they create baselines to establish great morale and guidelines to maintain unity. And when you have groups, masses of people who are operating on their own accord, not moving as one, doing what they feel is the right thing instead of the thing to do, which helps everyone, then this creates a lot of issues and problems that over time are subject to manipulation and exploitation. Now, there are so many causes of loneliness. However, I will focus on four main components. Number one, low self esteem. So, loneliness is not just based on someone being alone due to some type of relationship issue. It could be due to how someone looks at themselves, and it could start with their overall appearance. This may be a person who feels that they are too young and are looked at as naive, gullible, inexperienced. This could intimidate someone who is around others that could be 10 to 15 years their senior. and cause them to go into a period of isolation. This could be a person who is a senior, and perhaps they believe that they are out of a younger person's range when it comes to certain things, when it comes to competition in the workplace. It could be some opportunity in business. It could be a situation dealing with education where a person feels like they're not qualified due to their age. This could make a older person feel as if they're unworthy. They can't cut it. They no longer have the thinking ability to get things done. This could cause a state of depression, which leads me to my number 2 component. Depression is one of the biggest challenges for humans, both young and old. Doesn't matter if you're a male or female. Depression leads to so many other things in life that are negative. If you have low pay on the job, maybe you are someone who has been working a job for 3 to 4 years and you have the same pay from which you started, or if you did get a raise, the raise was less than 3%. It could be that you're a person who doesn't have adequate education. Maybe you did not graduate high school. You could be a person that doesn't have any skills at all. So the only thing that you know how to do is work with your hands. And outside of that, you never work with any computer system. You don't know how to operate Microsoft Office. You don't have any experience typing. So this could present a lot of issues for you that sends you into a state of depression because your opportunities are minimal. And also, it could be your attitude. Maybe you have a certain outlook on life based on how you were raised. Maybe you were not raised with both of your parents and you had to watch one parent struggle. And so that had an impact on the way that you view others. And you look at everything from a scarcity mindset. That means that you believe that the sky is always falling, that you have to spend every dime that you have because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And this could spiral you into loneliness and depression. Number 3, death of a loved one. So you could be one who has lost a child. And this is one of the most emotional, traumatizing situations that anyone would not want to encounter. Losing a loved one, a child. This may be your mother or a father, or it could be a brother or a sister. It could be a close friend that was like a brother or a sister to you that you've lost. You may be an introvert, and so you don't go out too much. And the person that you lost was the person that you spent a lot of your time with. Now they're gone, and this sends you into loneliness, isolation. Number 4, relationships. Relationships put people into loneliness all too often. Divorces, toxic relationships. How many of you out there are divorced? or may be going through a divorce right now. Was it a sudden situation? Now, if it was sudden, you may feel either way that you have been abandoned, that someone did you wrong. It could have been out of spite for something. There's a lot of resentment that you may have. The same thing for toxic relationships. You may get involved with the wrong person based on your views that may have come from someone who didn't have your best interests at heart. It may be from some of the things that I was talking about earlier in this conversation. Maybe due to social media, maybe due to someone who has a huge following, who's looking to get views and just putting information out there that sounds good, but not be based in standards or not based in reality or what's practical for an individual looking to have a great life, a life that's fulfilled in purpose and driven for success to help other people to move as one, as a unit. You have to be careful about who you surround yourself with, which brings me to solutions. So, one of the best ways that you can avoid or bring yourself out of loneliness is to stay busy. Find your purpose. Find the thing that you enjoy doing or that benefits, that you are good at, that benefits others. When you find your purpose, your whole character changes and it's built around your purpose. Your purpose enables you to focus on your talent or your skill, which makes your journey easier. And when your journey is easier, you're more strengthened and encouraged to help others because you don't have so many things weighing you down. Too often we hear about individuals who would like to help but can't because they're trying to take care of themselves. And you'll have individuals who are in this state for years. So they never get around to helping anyone because they're so busy trying to help themselves. These are individuals who likely have not found their purpose and they're going through life being led instead of leading. And when you're being led, you have no control. So you can't control your destiny. You can't control your money. You can't control the people around you, which puts you at a disadvantage. Think about what type of an impact not having control over your life, what type of an impact that has on people who are around you, and especially those who are younger, if you can't control your life. And so what we do is we look at the state of things or where they're at now as far as the younger generation, and we pass judgment. And I've been critical as myself. When you have to work on yourself, when you work on yourself and it's genuine, then the impact is being made and will automatically trickle down to those who want to follow in your footsteps. The world is built off of energy. The energy that you put in is the energy that is given out. Also, you want to be open. When you're open for advice and you're open to be critiqued, this helps you grow. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from any experiences that you have, and you're able to take in criticism that measures you and lets you know if you are actually growing or if you're regressing. If you're isolated and abandoned, there's no way that you truly know what your growth is like, because you don't have any numbers in place to measure it. You don't have anything that is visual for you to say, I was at this point in my life, now I'm here. So it's very important to be open so that you can naturally attract the good things in life that will take you to greater heights. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.